Hello Aries, welcome back to my channel, The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm starting off this new year, 2024, with your reading. So happy new year. I hope you are all well and have arrived safely. I've been pre-shuffling your cards here, Aries. I don't want to give a long intro. I get something like, first of all, when I took out my decks today, I always take them away from the table and then I line them up again for the next reading. And when I did that, it was like I always check the bottom because sometimes they can be reversed and then all the cards come out reversed. And there were many of them today that showed up reversed, so I kind of turned them around. But it tells me something about maybe like an utter opposite approach to something. Like another energy, like a shifting of the energy, maybe seeing things from someone else's angle. And what is interesting, because I literally have nothing else but this tablecloth here. But today I think, wasn't it your reading I did, where it was like there was a seat that was empty? I think it was the last Aries reading. You can go back and look at that if you want to. But it's like there was a seat that felt, or like an empty space or a void where someone should be, right? But they are not, or they were not there. And because of that, something else felt like it couldn't be maybe safely developed together or something like that. Does that make sense? Today I had a bit of the same feeling here. But what I wanna try to draw it for you, because it's literally what I see here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is what I get. And sometimes that happens when I look in the screen, because when I look here, there's nothing. But when I look in the screen, I see an angel here. Let's see. This is the gown that goes down to the feet and up. Then I have the wings here. I have a face up here. If I can draw it, a face like the chest area. And then I have a hand out here. Like it's doing like that. Like it's either saying no, or it's holding something. Like I have like the hand goes like this. And I took out my glass angel just to symbolize that here I have an angel or something. It's from here to here. This is the head here, and this is, the feet, you could say. And then it's like it has a hand, and it touches, like just the corner of this card, which is actually the first one I shuffled. So it feels a little bit like, I don't know, someone is there. Here, something is, like the hand can tell me something like, keeping you in a position because you're not ready, or keeping you in some position because it is the best for you at this time. It can be like holding a hand over you, protecting you in some way. I don't get the feeling of, restraint, or I don't want you, you know, like pushing you away. That's not what I feel like. It feels more like it again. And look at the card. Like the card here seems like it's right under the hand actually. Like the hand, the arm comes out here, and then the hand is kind of here. It's right under the hand. I took another card here to just maybe have a little glimpse of what this is. But I don't think that this card is going to satisfy. Like it can't describe what this is, I think, exactly. But it may tell us something about the intent of this one. It feels like, yeah, like angelic, like it's, I don't know, a bit, yeah, actually, a bit like, I don't know, a bit like it stands a bit like this, right? Like it's looking over here, and I can see the wings go down here, and the face up here, and the chest area, and then the cloth gown down, the hand out here, and then there's like a hand that just, it kind of does like that. Yeah, it's like it stands sideways and is looking over here. This would be the center card of your reading. I still don't know exactly. This can talk about the past. This can be the future, right? But there's something. Well, okay, so let's just dive in and have a look at this. But there could be something about seeing things from a totally different angle. Like, you know, this former reading I did where I said it was like there was someone missing at the table, you know, if someone died, or you just felt like there was a disconnect in your life somehow, that you felt you were not. I've talked about sometimes in my readings, like if people are feeling that they feel they don't have the compass, you know, the guiding light or something, that something is missing at the table. You know, that there's, you know, that could be incentive, that could be strength, that could be muscle power, but no goal, you know. Like there's no red thread. There's the compass to steer you in some kind of direction isn't there, but you have done all the other things, you know. You have got investors, maybe, or you have secured finances, you have your muscle power, you have your concentration, you have your health, but there's no goal. You see my point? Like, so where to go with that? And I feel like, and this could be it. Like, you know, it feels a bit like a temperance feeling. Like, just stay still. Stay here for a minute. Because you're not ready, right? You're not ready yet. Or I've got this, like spirit here is telling you, I've got this, right? Trust me, I've got this. Or I've got you. I'll protect you here in whatever you're doing. I hold a hand over you. You are secured in some way, right? Okay, so let's have a look. This card is the center card. It has to do with like a really big center point could be in your life here. So I get the Six of Cups. Well, Six of Cups is one of the most beautiful connections you can have with someone. This is what we call nostalgic, romantic memories. Looking back at something that is that was very beautiful. Like this, the Six of Cups is a mutual, beneficial, fun, beautiful, light-hearted. We see them as children here, right? This is where they are playing, you could say. They are in tune with just nature and the sunlight and the blue skies, and it's easy. I get like an easy feeling to this, like this could be, before we grow up, before we get the responsibilities of modern adult life, right? This is where we are still children and play in the garden, and it's fun, and maybe, even you could say secure in some way. There are flowers here, there are cups here, a little kitten, a few mice, a rabbit, a frog, butterflies. It's colorful, it's light, it's light-hearted, it's connected also, heart connected. It's a beautiful, this is nostalgic, right? It's like looking back at the good times, you could say. Looking back at the good times. So this can be in this life, it can be in another life, or even way back. Like, we can think about this as, I don't know, depending on what you're going through at the moment, right? But this can talk about something like, if we think about when was the good times of Earth, like when was like the glorious, good, loving times of Earth, you could say. If you believe in astrology, there are these ages that Earth go through. Right now we're just on the peak still of entering the age of Aquarius. Each age is around 2,000 years, so we have just entered into it. We're just on the brink of leaving Pisces and the age of Pisces and entering Aquarius age here. So when was the last time, if you go back in astrology, where we had this, right? So this can be in your own life. This can even go like way back. This can be a past life thing. But then it's like there's this, that kind of just holds over it. Yeah. Again, I get almost like a divine timing feeling to something. That there could be this memory of someone here that you would have liked to sit at the table. Maybe, we just had, for those who are celebrating, we've had like Christmas holidays, and we've had New Year. And this feeling that someone isn't there, Somehow I get the feeling that, well, it could be spirit, a guiding angel, a guardian angel, guarding over a memory. Yeah, it feels like they're, not like shoving it away, like go away or avoid me, right? It's more like holding it almost, or keeping it. Keeping it here in the present moment. Maybe there's something you need to find out about this. Usually this card, 6 usually talks about balance in some way. Some kind of equality. It's very balanced, very loving, kind, beautiful energy. This is playing and having a good time, fun. There's a sense of freedom here also. As I said, that the relief of, you could say, the burdens of maybe adult life, right? This is a more free, this is spare time, leisure time. And then it's like, but this always tells me about something that was, like it was once. It was once that this was present. And maybe it's in your memory, right? We have Mercury's retrograding right now, and sometimes when that happens, we can think about people or even meet people randomly in the street, perhaps. Or someone's suddenly texting you out of nowhere and you haven't heard from them in 20 years, maybe, An old colleague. You haven't seen them in 10 years, right? And you suddenly see them in the street, or and because you do that, you may remember something, right? You may remember, it could even be that you don't really remember the person, but suddenly you find yourself doing something. You're picking flowers in the garden, and then suddenly there's this memory of, I've done this before, right? I did this with someone. Oh yeah, I remember this was little Peter in kindergarten, right? But I have forgotten all about Peter in kindergarten. So it seems a little bit like maybe there are things that you could benefit from looking at here. So I feel like this hand is something like it's supposed to be here right now. It's supposed to be here. To somehow remind you about something, I think. Yeah, again, I have this feeling here. It's like, I've got this, like there's a reason why this is here. I've got you, I've got this, right? Like the reason why this is here is because it's supposed to tell you something. But you may need to like really reverse your way of seeing things, right? You may be seeing something from someone else's perspective, or again, maybe, like the memory could be something like, well, I liked picking flowers, for instance. But maybe the picking of flowers was actually not the thing that made it fun. Some of the urges we may have, the reason why this was fun is because this other person was there. Like picking flowers alone, playing ball alone is not the same. It feels like a best mate or something, like a best friend. And because they were there, everything in this picture was fun and nice and beautiful. But if you take the person out of the picture, these things could still be available, but it's not the same, right? Picking flowers, going, hunting, looking at the butterflies, sharing something. It's not the same when they are not there. So it's not about the activity necessarily. It's about whom you share it with. And maybe that is the reversed way of seeing things, right? That and you can't just, it's not anyone. Like anyone cannot take this seat. Like this is a special one, I think. And there could be something about remembering who that is, right? What are maybe the characteristics of this person? Who were they? Why did this become a Six of Cups memory? What made this special, right? And for some reason, I get the feeling it's like, stay with this for a moment, right? It's here for a reason. You know, you could say this, oh, my hobbies, yeah, I like to, I like to, I don't know, drive a motorbike. I like to go, yeah, flower picking, or I like to play football, or I like to, but the reason why you say that is maybe not the football in itself and the motion it makes. It's because you're playing with someone. Someone special here. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a Six of Cups memory. So, you could find yourself wanting to go out and, let's say you want to go canoe sailing, right? Because when you were a child, you actually liked that. Or, I don't know, if you played some kind of team sport or something. Maybe you liked ballet, or you liked, I don't know, tennis or something. But tennis in itself is maybe, yeah, it's fun, right? But it's the one you play with that makes all the difference, right? Maybe, as I said, it could be a special colleague. I do get more childlike though here. Maybe the interaction you had was very childlike. It was easy, and it was maybe a bit playful or flirtatious, in a more innocent way, right? There were smiles and joy, and it felt very balanced, and very equal, in a sense. That's why this memory persists. That's why this stands out. It's not about the flowers in the garden, or the animals, or the reason why this was an interesting interaction is because of the other person. Or, I say person, it could be anything. Usually this talks about person, right? But I know that children can sometimes have like really beautiful and very close relationships to a family dog, for instance, or a so I would allow that, for whoever I'm talking to here, that this can be any kind of interaction. The point is that when you take it out of the picture, them out of the picture, it's not going to be the same to interact here, Like you going alone in nature is great, but it's not the same, right? Okay, let's have a look at this one. The serpent. Well, the serpent card. Well, one of the things that always stand out to me with this card is that there are two snakes here. One going in this direction and another in this direction. So it's like you could say, if this was one big snake, it would have two heads, and it wouldn't have an ending or a tail, you could say. Or in this case, it's like the tails are intertwined, and these are two different energies, we could say like yin and yang, but they are somehow linked, right? That they are linked. Maybe again why this feels like a very special connection, like there could be total opposites. We have a boy and a girl here. There could be total opposites, but for some reason they are, linked. I feel like linked. Interesting energy here. So let's see. Let's have the mystical shaman oracle here. So I see like the sun in the background, and then there are these other kinds of cycles here, could indicating other planets or cycles of interaction. There's also a kind of a bird-like or feathered something here. For some reason, serpent, I get feminine here. Feminine. The feminine serpent. Feminine, and then with Six of Cups, well, it would suggest to me like a we know that snakes can have venom, right? But and the intertwining here, the feminine serpent. Let me see the bottom of the deck for this one. Fire. So at the bottom of the deck for the serpent here, I get fire energy. Fire. Yeah. Fire would be masculine, right? Ignition. Fire. The feminine serpent. Okay. So I get double-headed, twin-like, you know, and again, it's like they're going in two different directions here. So the different directions could kind of symbolize that maybe once you got separated, you were together, but you separated, or that well, the fire can indicate what we know about Earth when it was created, right? That it's now I get almost like semen, a sperm, an egg, and life creation. Life, the feminine serpent, the fire. Life like when an egg and a sperm cell comes together, but then it feels like there are two here. I would say two sperm cells. Could they be twins, those? Like, could this be a twin? Or it may feel like one, you know. We have the Gemini zodiac. You know, this could be the feeling of coming together with someone, even though you've never been born a twin, right? That that they felt like one. Like maybe they were a twin. How odd. Okay. Or they felt like one. Like they felt somehow familiar here. Like the interaction was... Okay, let's have the bottom of the deck for this card then. I don't really feel like I should push it up, because then I take it away from the angel here. But let's have a look. The bottom of the deck, I get the Chariot here. Chariot would suggest something like taking action, put yourself in the driver's seat, going for something. Going for something. You know, like you put yourself in the car here and you steer these horses or these, well, in this card it depicts two Egyptian, sphinx or something here. Sometimes this is shown as a black and white horse, but it says the chariot is like a carriage, right? You can ride somewhere, go somewhere, a car, that you would go to someone, or you want to travel to someone. Again, I said in the last reading something about you, like there was this empty seat of someone. Like someone was missing, not there, you know. This feels a little bit like wanting to go and visit someone here, or find someone with whom you have a like the feminine serpent, and then the fire would suggest to me like feminine and masculine, like a... Okay, let me just look at the book for the serpent. I'm not sure I can use it though, for this. This actually feels a little bit like creation, you know, when the earth was founded, or, you know, when the earth, the Big Bang theory thing, that we had this great explosion and the dust started to spin, and but then it's like there are these double like a double... Yeah, I get twin-like energy. You know, it means something. It tells us something about this interaction, because twin-like energy, if these are twins, I believe it is said that twins have a special connection, right? They have a special empathy with each other, or telepathy, or some kind of maybe heart connection or something that is always linked even though they are apart. Does that make sense? Like it's somehow always linked even though they are apart. And I think you have been separated, or something has separated here. Like you could have gone two different ways. Again, this is nostalgic. It's an old memory, and here she is alone, right? So she could be looking for someone here. I feel like Chariot as underlying energy could suggest that this is a willingness to go into memories. Like a willingness to, you would say this could be a past life regression session, right? That you choose to do. Like you put yourself in this driver's seat to figure something out here, because something is on your mind. So putting yourself in the driver's seat to figure out what that is, or who this is, or where they are, or something, who they are, where they are. But they are so similar, these serpents here. It feels like they are equal to you. Like you mirror each, it's a mirroring. It's a mirroring like and maybe that's why this is so special, right? Because it has this very I get twin life vibe to it. Um, like you just get each other, or you did, like you got each other, right? You maybe that's what this is, like that this one is one of them. This one is in spirit, maybe, and they have this hand, like a like I'm still here, right? And I've got you, or I'm with you. I'm still here. Yeah, like the hand is like a like they are still there, you know. And the memory, or this is a way of keeping you connected, right? So if you find out more about this, if you feel like the connection has been somehow interrupted, or I hear deleted, but if you feel like it has been again, this talks about nostalgic, right? So it's in the what we call the past, right? It's in the past. It's somehow over. It's done. It's not there anymore. It's not in your present life, but you think about it, or someone is here, like and I'm reading for Aries. This is interesting. It's not a Gemini reading. Of course, you could be an Aries twin. I don't know. If you do have a twin, well, twin flames. If you're into that, maybe. Maybe I said there was like a winged kind of creature here. Maybe that is the reason why I have this feeling of like a spirit here. That one, that like there has like a separation, right? And one has wings. You know, they are here. They are in a different realm. They are, but I can see them. Like they are transparent like this one. Or we could say they are not very dense. Which makes them transparent or invisible, kind of. But if this is on your mind, it could be because they are, you know, like around. Like they are around you somehow. I feel like this message could be for someone who feels like they had a very, very strong connection with someone, maybe a twin here. Or a twin-like brother or sister, sibling, or friendship here with someone. But this is an innocent state, you know, this is playful, and it's without the adult thing, you know, all the adult expectations, responsibilities, job, marriage, love, sex, all this. This is before this somehow. This is a very innocent, playful, open, free, kind, positive, loving, beautiful place. It's the kindergarten, right? This could be Peter from kindergarten, as I said, right? It's like that. So it's not the picking of flowers. It's not the little frog in itself. The frog is fun, but it's even more fun to share it with someone who also finds it fun, or icky, or wonderful, or marvelous, or whatever you want to call it. Because they saw it like you, like they were like you in some way. Maybe you like the same things. Like when you were looking, again, there are many animals here, mice and a rabbit and a kitten and a frog and butterflies. When you looked at them, you had the same feeling, like if you looked at the butterflies, it was the same interpretation. You saw them in the same way. You shared that, like a special bond with them in that way. Yeah, I get like they are like you. They are like you, but not you. Like you, but not you. And there could be this feeling of like a missing seat, like they are. I had that in another Aries reading, like they are missing at this their seat at the table, Now I get something like secret or not spoke. Like someone here who, well, either died, or they became an outcast in some way. They took off, like they disappeared. That's why you are looking for them. Or trying to remember them. Chariot is usually, a card where you take some kind of action. Like you put yourself in the car, start the car and get going, right? It's taking charge of something. The Chariot is a Cancer card, so this is an emotional, maybe intuitively guided choice. It could be like a leadership thing. Like I want to figure this out. I want to know more about this, so I choose to take action on something, or I choose to dive into a memory, or this can be, records of, let's say, if you have old records about your time in kindergarten, or as I said, it could even be something like past life regression. It could be something about Akashic records, if you are into that stuff. This is a memory, a remembrance of something. Nostalgic, romantic memory. It could be a relationship you had with someone, and it felt like that. It felt like this. This is burdenless, right? This is a burdenless feeling here. This is lighthearted and fun and easy and playful. Okay, the serpent talks about the life force of Mother Earth. Yes, I got feminine energy here. The coiled serpent of the Kundalini brings passion, healing, and renewal. She offers us the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden and reminds us to shed the past, the way she shed her tired old skin. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free. Okay, so there could be something about like the interaction here was I feel like alluring in the sense that the way you were interacting, I still feel beautiful, playful, free, but you know, like a mutual daring, like a mutual daring between you. But you may not have dared alone. Do you get my point? Like if I hadn't been with him or her, I wouldn't have dared alone to do this, and that's why this is not the same. Like being in the garden alone here is not the same, right? Without them, you can look at all the same stuff, but it's not the same. It's like when you were together, it created something special. I feel like that is. It says serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit. So, you know, like a bit of a daring bravery together to, you know, cross maybe some kind of forbidden rules or something. I still feel that it's playful. I still feel it's childish. I still childlike. Fun, easy. They were just so easy to be around, right? So the serpent power of the Kundalini is steering within your chakras, gently asking you to embrace its mystery. Shed the old skin that you have been so attached to, and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly. That will bring you a fresh experience of your life. Your passion and sexuality are awakening, and this can be scary. Trust the wisdom of serpent to transform your sensual energies into beautiful, original manifestations. Okay, again, I get something about with this. Shed the old skin that you have been so attached to, and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly. That will bring you a fresh experience of your life. Again, this like. It's like something about like eternal turnover of allowing yourself to see things from a totally different side, or allow yourself to be something different, right? Be the other. Be the other. Be the other. Okay. When you shed the past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama. Indeed, that is something you want to avoid. Do not use your energy to seduce others, or allow yourself to be seduced even by your own ideas. That is the medicine. So this is caution or something to think about. So there is an invitation to fire. And it says sexuality was awakening. This could be someone who, you know, it was playful and fun and everything, but it also lured, you know, like it lured something. It could be the exact person that actually, even though this is still childlike, that it actually was the awakening. They had the exact perfect mix of being a friend and then still this daring, alluring lure of something that could, you could say, awaken that fire, right? So maybe you are wondering if you could get it back or find this person or what they represented, like why were they so special, or why did this happen with them, Why could it even happen with them? So what were they providing? What was the scene with them? How was the interaction with them? Because I think this is a key thing to understand why this even awakened, why this came forward, why it is trying to come forward again maybe, and why it came forward with them. They were a provider of something here in some way that made this possible. And that is why this sticks in your memory, or it sticks with you, because it's special in some way. And again, I get here. Okay, let's just have a look at this card here. 6 of Fire. Okay, 6 of Fire. Of course, you can see that it's a boat carried by a balloon here. So it's like it's levitating. It's flying, which makes sense. I said that it's like it felt like an angel here, watching over you or holding their hand over you, like a protective kind of shield, wanting to protect the memory you had. They stand here like this. I feel like transparent, not very dense. I'm not sure you can see them, right? I see just like a little bit of a two-dimensional kind of drawing here on the table. And here again it comes like a flying. 6 of Fire, 6 of Wands. So what is 6 of Wands? 6 of Wands is it talks about success, overcoming something. I feel like someone is here to help you overcome something very difficult. Like this energy is here to make you overcome something. Maybe an attachment here. It said in the book something about shedding the old skin, a vulnerability here. So that could be something about wanting to help you overcome something. The 6 of Fire would say success. It would say coming home from a battle that was very difficult. It could even be like a message of that I'm okay, like that if this is someone in spirit form, that I'm okay. I'm fine, and an encouragement to what you are doing. You're on the right track here, right? It's what you are doing is a success. Like you are attempting to figure something out here. 6 of Fire is like the return of success. Like the knight goes into the battle, and it's very difficult, you know. But then they return home, and they feel the cheer and the embrace and everything from the town they have defending, right? They've been defending. They feel the cheer and the laughter and the joy and the happiness among the crowd, and they are coming back home, and it makes them, you know, like feel like so levitated, you could say. It's a successful levitated it's like it has been worth it, like the cheer and the yeah, it's like it has been worth it. Like whatever happened here, or something is cheering you, I feel like. They're cheering you. They're cheering your effort. And you know, like they're hoovering, like they are just, they're flying up here, hoovering over the ground area, right? Like overlooking the perimeter somehow for you. And at the bottom of the deck here, I get 5 of Aries. So yeah, I can't seem to get around the fact that there has been some kind of loss, or Five of Swords is like a betrayal. Like this is someone who acts like she is a dove, right? But she's not a dove. She's doing her best to blend in here, but it's a mask. I feel like I think the mask has gotten off though. There is no mask. There is, well, this is underlying energy, so this is usually a driver, what I call it, towards this, right? That this is what has been leading up to this. So 5 of Air would be a feeling of, well, 5 is usually about some kind of loss or grief or pretense. And here it feels very obvious that it's something about wanting to fit in somehow, a mask. But the mask is covering something here, where you feel like you don't really belong. And this search, I feel like, or this feeling of being ostracized or not, belonging somehow, is leading you to some kind of success here. I feel like I get like the feeling that something is here that is, I feel like they're telling you you're on the right track. Like, 6 of Fire is a success card. Coming home from the battle. Have, again, like you have overcome something here. And you're successful now. You're ready to for takeoff, right? You're ready to. I don't know why maybe that's why we have this angel, like that. I feel like that could be ancestral applause, or this could be an ancestral thing, Ready to levitate. We are right here with you. We see you. Like they are right here with you, right? And they see how you are flying. I almost feel like how you're flying. Like you're ready for takeoff. You're ready to, you have come to some kind of success here. Like overcoming something, or you're ready to. An angel of success after some kind of tumultuous time here. Air energies, it has to do with identity usually. It has to do with who you are, or what you identify with, or what has been your well, I said something in the beginning, something like if you haven't had like a goal in life. Again, as I said, you could have muscle power, you could have health, you could have home maybe. You could have a job, but not feeling satisfied in it because the goal of something, like the purpose for you being here, it's not there. So you're doing something, but it's, it doesn't feel that, and this could be it, right? Maybe this is it, that this is the final thing, right? That it gives you maybe a different purpose or something. So instead of living a life where you were not content, right? You were not content here. You were blending in and just doing your thing in some way. But actually, you're getting prepared, I feel like, to I feel like be more successful. It feels like a success maybe to dive into this. This could be the sense of purpose, like the story of this, or the retrieving of this memory, or maybe this person, this interaction, or the characteristics of this scenery somehow is the purpose. That is the one that you wanna go towards, right? That is the scene, or the life you wanna have. That is the person you wanna find if you can. That is the approach to your life maybe that you wanna have. Not an attempt to fit in, not an attempt to play along. Again, this could be, like a card that talks about, fitting in, playing along, but again, not feeling that you will ever fit these doves. And this could be the feeling of I'm prepared to go and find them, right? I'm looking for my biggest success. I'm looking for triumph, or to beat something, or to lift off, levitate, fly. This could be like a, like an attempt to fly, but you're not really doing it. It's a mask. Here you are actually doing it. Here you are flying. It's in a different way, though. You're not attempting to look like a dove, right? You're not attempting to blend in with, doves can be, I see them sometimes, these are the, you could say, peacekeepers. The dove is like a symbol of purity, and it is an animal that is usually not associated with threat, right? They seem cute and peaceful and adoring in some way. We talk about turtle doves, right? And maybe you are not, like, the blending in of this is not your thing, like that is, you can't be with people like this. That could be a sense of purity, innocence, a sense of virtuousness here. But it can't really be, and here I would say it's like a, this could be a picture of someone who, like, they are quite aware that they are not perfect. They are quite aware that they may have baggage, right? They are quite aware that this is the difference between a person who knows their shadow sides, right? This one would be someone who has a mask on, is pretending to be a virtuous person, or a kind-hearted, good, virtuous person, and only seeing that side of themselves. But the reason why they feel like they don't really fit in here is because they haven't acknowledged this, right, about them. Because nobody, even the most virtuous person in the world, will have an adversary. Like, you can do what you think is the best deed in the world, but someone would see it with other eyes and criticize it. Someone who comes from a different perspective would see it in a different way. Maybe, a cultural difference, or a religious difference. There's always an opposite to something. This, I feel like, is someone who may know that. Like, they understand there is no such thing as a virtuous flight through life. That is a self-betrayal. Instead, there is a life with ups and downs, as it's said in the book also, right? There is a life of ups and downs. And I have no wings here, right? I need a balloon here to carry me, right? Because I know that I failed, or I know that I'm not perfect. But that is actually what the angel is trying to say here, that it's all right, right? It's all right that maybe you failed. You may know, like, this person, like, maybe you were not this perfect person. Maybe they were not this perfect person. And they're just telling you that whatever you are finding out here, whatever this represents, is truth. And truth is success for you, right? That is the way to move forward. Owning that no matter what you could have done here, maybe, again, sometimes I get with this, it just seems so flawless to me, right? This, like the blue sky and the white doves. It's very clear and very. But then there's this one, right? That is trying to fit in here, but it's not really. Like it's a mask. It's, even though they are capable and dancing ballet here, it's not the same. Like this looks a little bit like the ugly duckling, like they are too big and too clumsy to be in the air. They don't belong here, right? They don't belong up here. So the only way I can get up there is by finding myself a ship here, because I don't have wings, and then I need a big enough balloon, right? So it feels like from as maybe a self-betrayal, or an identity that wasn't maybe real in some way. You would say, changed your way of seeing yourself, or changed your way of seeing someone. And this is, I feel like, a more raw and more honest picture of you, or them here. Like if they are not around, this is a more honest view, that they may be up there, yeah. But they are, I feel like a message of, I wasn't that perfect, it wasn't all that perfect. Like you could have put them on a pedestal here. This could be someone, put on a pedestal, And somehow I get the feeling that, but it's not, it feels more successful to see them as a ship that of course cannot fly without help here, right? That cannot fly without help. Okay, it almost feels like a permission. Like I can't fly off without help. Like a spirit that is here, but it was not supposed to. It was supposed to transcend and move on, but it's here. And it can't as long as you keep it here. Like it needs help to Can I get another card on this Six of Fire, please? this Six of Fire for Aries. It is a success card. So I get Five of Raphael, again another 5 card here. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunity for happiness. Search for the silver lining. I feel like it could be it could be something like they need you to let them leave. First of all, get a real picture of them. Like the real picture of them here. Or this is maybe not the real picture of them, right? That they were so beautiful and everything was so peachy and everything. Maybe it wasn't quite right. And a more realistic picture of them would actually help, right? I still get the feeling of like applause that you have shifting from. This suggests to me also a place where you have been hurting and in pain, and you have seen them as this perfect one, right? But lost them, and somehow I feel like put on a pedestal here. But they were not like that, and they have known that all the time. Like they knew, right? But you releasing yourself from this, and putting yourself, I get feeling like, again, driver's seat in some sense here. This is the way forward. I think they are applauding you here. That's what I feel like. And the more you get into this mode, the more they can lift off. Again, it's like they are almost seeking permission, right? That they are asking you to let them go. This memory is a beautiful memory, and you have been looking into it, I think, here. But I have 2 5 cards that are on top of this 6 card. Right? And 5s are about losses and lack or separation and feeling alone, ostracized, like alienated or something like that. But this is telling, again, yeah, I get feeling of like like here they are in manifestation, like here they have form. And sometimes this, of course, it can be a memory, right? So you remember them as form, and here they don't have one, right? They are non-form. Um, so either you are having success in manifestation, like manifesting someone into your life, or I want to say maybe you need to let them go if this is someone from your past, because it's blocking something. Like it blocks something else to come in, or it blocks your ability to take action in life. I feel though still that they can be this kind of like the memory is also the memory of them, and what you had together is not wrong. Like this was a beautiful place or setting or scenario, and wanting that back is not bad. Like it's not a bad thing. It may not be possible with them, like they can be in spirit form, but it doesn't mean that you can't have beautiful things in your life. It's just to figure out, why was this connection so special? How were they? What was the setting, the timing, the season of the year? Where were you? What was it? Was it warm, cold? Was it inside, outside? Were they like you? Was there this spark between you? And then that becomes I said it before, I think, in one of reading, that can be like a recipe, right? It becomes a recipe of not to find someone to replace it, right? But something similar. Something similar, or to honor this, right? To honor it in some way. And that is a better way of seeing things. That is a more successful way of seeing the interaction you had here. Even if someone died, or they are in spirit form now, it's better not to sit and grieve here and pretend that everything is all right. It's better to move on, knowing that, well, yeah, this has been quite a ride, but yeah, I can't fly on my own here. Maybe I need help. Maybe I need to, where this one tries to fly on their own, right? Among the other birds here. But it's going to be a more clumsy attempt, right? It's not a real attempt. It's more successful for you to move forward with the knowing that I don't have to try to pretend to fly alone here. I can actually fly with someone. That would be maybe more successful for me. And the direction also, where am I flying? Again, as I said, you could have the plane. You could have the pilot. You could have the money, the gas, everything. But you don't know where you're flying. There's no direction. This, whatever this is, and somehow I get the feeling of someone lost, dead, not here, somehow. But the grief here can make you, first of all, need to do everything alone. Like you have to cope alone, right? Even though you are in pain. So you can tend to isolate or try to attempt to do things alone. But the success is maybe saying that I know I can't do alone. I need some kind of help to fly, or to take off, or to levitate, or to. And this is where they are a guiding light. Because where are you going here, right? Where are you going? In that way, they can help you. Do you see that in that way, they here in spirit form are guiding you? Like you have the ship here, but you have no compass. If you let them and their way of being, the interaction you had with them, the way they bravely lured you, or bravely encouraged you to take a new chance or to go somewhere here. It's like a corporation. Like you can be the ship here, and they are here. They will be the balloon for you if you let them, right? If you let them be the balloon, they will take you. But they are guiding, they're guiding you. They're guiding you somewhere. And remembering this is important to find the harbor, you could say, the goal, or the direction. Because this is what you want to have back, but they are not here. So you're trying to find it or similar, but without them, they are here. But if you connect with them, and that's what I feel like, you can connect with them through this memory, through these memories. They show you, right? They show you who they are. They show you what they did. They show you how they interacted with you. They showed you who you were. You talked, you laughed, you played, you ran, you jumped, and they could have been encouraging you to do something that was, a bit out of line, perhaps. And if you listen to them and you let them be the balloon, they will take you there, right? They will let you be, but you have to let them, right? You have to let them take you there. You have to allow the memory to unfold, to understand why they were special. So you put yourself in the boat here, right? You put yourself in the boat, but you're not pretending that you know where it's going. You don't know where it's going. The one who knows where it's going is the other one, and he is in spirit form, right? Or she is in spirit form, and you could say it could be your spirit, right? It could be your soul that is guiding you. But you should let it guide you then. And you have a help here. The help is the memory of them. Why this was important? Why is this still in your mind? Why do you still remember them? Even if they are not here anymore. There is something about them. Like the interaction could do exactly this, right? It could take you places you haven't been before, but you had to follow each other, right? You had to trust each other here. You had to believe that a ship can fly. Maybe trust their crazy fantasies, because normally a ship can fly. Only birds can fly here, or a plane can fly, right? But me trying to fly here alone is not a good attempt. But with them, I can fly. Maybe they have had great fantasy here. Like, they could tell you stories, They could tell you the greatest stories of of romance, perhaps. Maybe they were good at seducing, like the way they just showed up in the world. They could seduce anyone with their words or their way of being. They had a way of flirting with life, perhaps, that you felt brave around them. Like they gave you that encouragement. You felt brave and that you could take the chance with them, right? In that way, they made you feel safe. You trusted them. Again, here you have a big ship here, and you let them fly, levitate. You let them take this ship up. Like it's like they could make a ship fly here, like that. That is how you felt with them. Everything was so easy, like they lifted you up in this perfect world, right? That was what they could do that with their balloon here, an air balloon, right? They could lift you up. Air balloons can be beautiful. They can be fantasies, right? This can be a fantasy-like place. I've talked about before, like a Zen zone, that you can create this, like a place in your mind that is the Zen zone, right? Where when you enter that place, it feels like this, right? You have created a place, a fantastic dream, maybe. This is Neptune-like, Pisces-like, and a fantasy dream of something in your mind. I think we all have that to a certain extent. And then if you enter that space here, it is this beautiful place, right? Everything just feels a little more easy here. We are lifted up, we are away from the earthly matters. It feels more successful. Again, to be with them feels successful. It feels like together you can overcome the world. Together you could take on any, endeavor, right? But alone here, it feels like a lie. It feels like a mask that you pretend to be like them, right? And you are not. Again, there's this twin element, like a pretense of being the other twin, or be like someone else, or someone you may have looked up to, or someone you adored here, right? That there could be this but it talked about the pink, vulnerable underbelly, that maybe there's something vulnerable in about this also. Six of Cups is usually like a mutual, intertwined, you could say, but very beautiful energy, and it is so until it's not, right? That's what we know. This could be the feeling of, falling in love with someone, like the first time you date, and you can just feel the butterflies, and you can feel this beautiful crush starting, right? That this is a beautiful person, right? But this exists when we don't have this other stuff around us, when we don't have like the adult expectations, and when the road is cleared, this can be very beautiful, right? When nothing else is pulling us, then we can have this, right? When there is no other suggestion, when there are no other, this could be best friends, but then you grew up, you moved away from each other, perhaps your family moved away from each other. Peter from kindergarten wasn't there anymore, but he was your childhood crush, right? You got separated in some way. And now it just feels like either he is away, like away from you, but there is a sense of spirit connection with them, or they are not here anymore, like they have transitioned. Or they hang around you. There's this hang around energy, because you keep them alive, right? You keep them alive here, so they hang around. I feel like, well, we can do that, but I think that eventually it's probably a good thing to let them go, right? No, but sometimes we may let them hang around until we have found something where we can settle, like until the ship has found its new harbor, And I feel like this is kind of a card that says, like, that you are on the right track. You may not be quite, you haven't reached the harbor yet, right? You haven't reached the harbor yet, but you're moving. You may be moving by them, by intuition, going. You're going somewhere. You're seeking or going, searching, looking for something. And then that in itself is a better choice than being miserable, Let them guide you somewhere. Let instead of like the grief of losing someone, perhaps that can be devastating. Then you sit in devastation. Then you sit more like this, in these energies here, alone and so on, feeling, and you do not have that feeling here. This feeling is gone when you are grieving, right? When you're sad. This comes back when you honor them, when you think about them, when you think about the crazy things you made together or did together, the fun, crazy things you did together, right? The crazy stories he told you or she did, right? The fantasies you shared. That brings this back. And you can do that for a while until you figure out where it is you're going. Right? Where it is you're going. In that way they hang around. They are here, but not here. They are still a guiding light towards what you prefer, you could say, right? Like they remind you of a recipe of a greater life, a more fun life, an easier life, a more fulfilling life. They are a recipe. They are a reminder of a life that has been, or it has been here. It's a memory, right? So you do remember it in some way. Maybe this was just an afternoon. Maybe this was a part of your childhood, right? But whatever you did together here was like an alluring, maybe adventurous, exploring kind of investigation together. in whatever way. And it was like a spark, you know. It was a spark between each other here. And it is a memory that you can look for, right? You can look for this. So even though they are not here yet, they are still guiding you. They can be a guide if you allow them to, but if you're not allowing them, you sit in grief here. If you allow them to be around, you could say they can take you to a new place here. They can take you to a happier, more successful, or more abundant place, right? That's what the memory can do. If we can leave the sadness behind, well, if you sit with this, I want to say it's probably because you have gratitude. Like you have gratitude that you met someone like that. That if you can sit with gratitude instead of grief, that is a success, I want to say. Because then you see it from a totally different angle, right? Again, this switching, like you see it from a totally different angle, that because of them, you've had a very special experience. And that special experience is much more enjoyable if you honor it and you actually appreciate it and you're grateful for it, instead of you are, grieving the loss of it. And this can be easier said than done. I understand, but grieving means that this is gone. The grieving takes over all the good. It consumes all the good that was. Because there was good, otherwise the grief is not that big. Big grief means big love, usually. So if we can take the big grief and convert it into like the happy memories here, it can also become a guide. Like it can lift you, first of all, it can lift you out of the grief and the despair, but it can also, be the guiding light of where you want to go to find something, well, maybe not the same, but similar, right? Like they represent something that you could be looking for in a new partner, or maybe this was an environment, like maybe this is a special town, or what you did together here, the work you did together maybe is a way of reconnecting with that energy, remembering the joy of some of this, if you can find others who have the same interest, So in that way, they are still guiding you if you let them. If you let them. But it's a converting something, as I said, converting a grief into a gratitude. Because this is a special, this is important and special. It stands out. It's maybe one in a lifetime. This is a very special connection. It stands out. It's maybe the only one in your life. Maybe even in past lives. Maybe this is a timeless love, And to have that is very, very special. To have experienced that is very, very special. And if we look at law of vibration, law of attraction, we would say that if you focus on grief, you will have more of it. If you focus on them, the gratitude, the memories, the possibilities, the joy and the fun here, the acceptance that this was special to me, then you will have more of this instead of more of this, right? This. Maybe not overnight, but over a period of time. Being grateful for what you have experienced here. Not all people have this. Not all people experience this. So another card on this one, I get the Ten of Earth here. Ten of Earth is, well, she sits alone here, but she has Ten of Pentacles. This means Ten of Pentacles is usually a card of like having everything, being very abundant. She has a dog here as a companion, right? I said that this energy here, it could be an animal. It doesn't have to be, but could be, right? So she sits here with this companion. She has a treasure box here of abundance. Ten of Earth suggests like having it all. This is the catch of life, or you could say the catch. This is like having everything. You have money, you have property, you have a house, you have all those needs met. You have companionship here. You have money in the bank. You are settled. You are at peace. There is beauty here. You can buy everything you want here. She has wings. She can fly if she wants to. She is, even if you look at it, it's like she is in the center of everything, right? She's the center point of it. It's a bit like being in charge of your life, right? That you have somehow. This is a cardinal sign. Cancer is a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs usually are about leadership, like taking leadership in your life and finding the right companion here, right? That is willing to put you here also, like put you, I don't know, the right companion or the right harbor, right? This is, you have arrived at the harbor. There's a sense of like spotlight here. Like in the center, and there's a light here around. I don't know if, and the success card, here, that they can be guiding you to your success. If you let them, I feel, if you let them, if you let me guide you, let me be that guide, right? Or anchor, or the guiding star, right? Because we had something special together here. Let me be that for you, right? And then, like, if you listen, use your intuition here and listen. You put yourself in the ship and then you let me steer here, right? You have two swings here. Again, I get old energy, like a past life, maybe a timeless love somehow. It will allow you to go towards the success life. This is where you have everything. Like the 10 of Earth is the most fulfilling earthly life you can have. Everything is available. It's a cornucopia. It's beautiful, loving, and everything is available here with the right companion, right? With the right companion, everything can be explored. You let them guide you. Again, it could be your soul, that this means that you connect, your ego and your soul connects, right? That there is a guidance, you're listening to some, this is spirit, right? You're listening to something. You're listening to a guidance that is supposed to take you where. That is also Cancerian energy. An intuitive, psychic listening, putting yourself in that driver's seat and choosing to listen, right? Choosing to go where you are guided to go. So it's like having a ship here, sailing without a compass, but the air balloon here is like, you could say, the receiver, where you receive information, and it's with you, that you sail your ship and they are right here with you. And you are only connected through these thin lines here, right? But they are still there, right? They send information to you. It's just whether you pick it up or not. And if you pick it up, you can convert a grief or a sorrow or a pain into something else. You can convert it here. Convert a big pain into something else that can be more of a cornucopia life, right? It's a more abundant, successful life, overcoming a grief. And I feel like a big one, because this is that is the most successful, beautiful, abundant life here. Like if you combine these two cards here, that is like this card doesn't look like much maybe, right? But that can also be it. That there are some other 10 of Earth cards that look very much more colorful and everything. Here it actually looks a bit humble, but that's exactly what is actually the difference, right? The difference is that could be them also, right? Maybe they were humble, right? And maybe that's exactly the right match for you, right? Maybe they don't need much. Again, they are not dense. Like maybe they are light. Like they don't have, again, they have a simple life maybe here, right? Maybe a simpler life. A simpler life could be good for you here. A simpler life means that there's less to worry about. You have taken certain ego things away, perhaps, because what is it actually just fueling, right? Usually ego stuff requires money, or it requires attendance. Maybe you have decided a simpler life is maybe better. Maybe that is the guidance, right? That the easier, as I said, the easier, more fun, simpler life, light-hearted life comes with maybe a sense of more humble life. Like she sits here, it's not a very fancy card, but she has everything she wants and needs here. It's right there. Like this is the most abundant card in the deck of earthly matters, you would say. Would be the sense of like having a cornucopia or Eden on earth. But she sits here with, well, a treasure box, but also a companion, the dog is a very loyal companion, right? It's a very devoted, loyal companion. Maybe that's what you're looking for, right? Maybe that's one of the features here, that they were very devoted, very loyal. And that is where they are steering you here, right? They are still this guiding light for you. And having had that in your life, having that is to be appreciated and honored and remembered. I feel like also remembered, instead of just, all the good here is to be remembered, not just the loss here. Overcoming a sense of loss or regret, or if there have been ways of you have attempted to live your life here alone, perhaps. And it has been very sad and in grief, and turning it around would be more beneficial for you here. So it's like they are there, but they are not there. In the last Aries, I believe it was the last Aries reading, there was this feeling of like a king of air that was kind of trapped in a cage, like it couldn't move unless something else was available, unless this seed was there. But I think that it doesn't matter. As long as you honor it, as long as you honor the experience here, you can turn it around, right? You can convert like big loss and grief and pain into something brighter that colors up your life more. Maybe telling stories about them, sometimes in earlier times, I believe that there could be this idea that if we just don't talk about it, we can kind of shove this pain under the rug, right? And we never talk about the person again. Like when they died and the funeral was over, we just continued our life and we never talked about them again. Pictures were removed, things like that. Not in all homes, of course, but some dealt with death and pain like that. Here it actually feels like maybe it could be beneficial to talk about them. Maybe write stuff down, as much as you can remember. Why this was special, what characterized them. What kind of person? Again, maybe they were very humble or simple. They saw life very simple, right? They weren't attached to all kinds of, virtues or rules or morals or something. But maybe they were very free, right? So a humble life, or a life with little attachment, you could say. That's exactly what characterizes a playful energy, is that it's not attached to all different, the responsibilities are not quite there, The less you are involved in, the less responsibility you have. If you have 10 children, you have responsibility for 10 children. If you have one child, it's one child, right? It's different, of course. If you are attached to the way you look, your like which phone you have, which car you have, which home you have, how it all looks, that it has to have a certain style or image or something. If you are attached to status, it just requires more attendance. Like you have to keep it up, you have to keep it going, dum dum dum, right? This could be someone who didn't, like they didn't judge. They didn't judge your clothing, they didn't judge your hair, they didn't judge your appearance. They didn't care what you thought about money or work, or I don't know. Maybe they had this like humble or free, simple attitude to life, They just liked being with you. Like they didn't, judge you for, they didn't ask anything special of you, It was easy. That's why it's special. They didn't ask to change for them. They didn't ask to perform for them, They didn't ask you to require a lot of stuff. They didn't judge you. They just wanted to hang out. They just want to be with you. It's like you just fit, that feeling. That you just fit easily together without any kinds of quarrels or disagreements or something. That's why they were special. And being with them is, I don't know, yeah, it feels like simple, but still it is the best companion, right? It's a cool, yeah, get quiet or peaceful, but it doesn't have to be boring, right? Quiet, peaceful, I hear settled, like that you have everything, like it's just settled, Or like as I said, it's like you are moving towards a new harbor here, and you become the settlers. Like when like moving to America, in older times, like the travel to America, becoming these new settlers, right? That they have arrived at this new place. It was a totally new beginning, and they became these settlers that kind of started to build from a scratch, right? That's what I feel like with this. It's like it's settled. You have built the house. And you've done it together, right? You have this perfect companionship together. It works. It fits. And it's loyal, right? It's loyal and stable. Pentacles also talk about stability, right? Money and stability. So it's stable, it's settled. But it doesn't have to be that it's boring, right? That's not what I feel like. They are not boring. The success card here, like success from a place of 2-5 cards here can be, well, 2-5 cards usually talk about distress, imbalance, something that is very difficult to handle. It's dramatic, it's painful, and the success card can talk about finding balance, finding more peace, having more well, maybe settledness in your life, order or stability or something here. Maybe they are very good at stability. I don't know, but maybe that's one of their features, right? That they didn't judge, they didn't do that, and at the same time they have this groundedness maybe about them. Maybe they are good at making plans. Maybe they have fascinating plans. Maybe they were steadfast. They made you be brave because they never startled, right? Does that make sense? Something like that? And there could be this feeling of, without them I can't, be brave. Without them I can't make this jump. Without them I can't go to America, right? But they are with you here. They are with you. Even in spirit they are with you. You moving forward, you putting yourself in this chariot, trusting them, I feel like they are trying to lead you. They hang around here because they are trying to lead you in a different direction from this, right? Out of that and to somewhere else here. But it depends on whether you can hear them or listen to them or you trust them. The timeline will be different. Some of you will be here, right? And you can't have this, like this is not present. There's only the loss, right? But they are hanging around. If you feel a presence or something around you, they are hanging around to help you here, to help guide you. That's what I feel like. They are a very strong, maybe oppositional energy or twin-like energy. They have it's very persuasive, let me say that. Like it's a persistent kind of energy. It's like you can't overlook it. It's like an ever-present kind of feeling that it's around you somehow. Does that make sense? I feel like people who feel like they have met a twin flame, that's what it feels like. There's a life before meeting them, and then there's a life after. And after, it becomes very different. It's like everything is turned upside down. Everything you know about yourself is... So the life before, and then there's a life after meeting them. Even if just for a brief moment, even if just for an afternoon, and they are out of your life again, it will start some kind of process. Maybe you had a twin, like literally you had a twin who died. Then it's probably that kind of story. Or this represents someone similar to that kind of feeling. It's that strong. And that's why the connection is still there. It could be like a telepathy thing or an empathic kind of heart coherent thing that you feel that there's something, you are interacting with something. But there could be this feeling that they are not around or they are far away from you, like they are around the globe, or in another realm, as I said. Or even in another time. Like in another time. Now I think about the Outlander film on Netflix or series on Netflix. It's like, if you have seen it, before Claire travels through the stones and she hasn't met him yet, Jamie, she had no awareness about him. She lived her life in the 60s with her husband. She had no awareness. After that encounter, and she traveled back through the stones, she couldn't return to that marriage, right? She couldn't forget about him, even though he lived 200 years before her time. So this was a love that was remembered, even though there was this big time lap between them. Does that make sense? It's like you can't, if you have encountered it, it's like you can't not know it. And it transcends and is questioning the way we think, right? The way we understand the world is questioned by energies like that. And many people will disregard it. Many people would say it's just a fantasy. It's just it doesn't work like that. It's not because we have linear time understanding still, most of us. But in the quantum time understanding, it's a circle, it's a loop, right? There is no past, present, and future. Everything is acting out simultaneously. Right? So it depends on how you think. Is it possible to connect with someone maybe even from a different lifetime? It's up to you. Do you think it is possible? But again, do you see how it bends everything? It questions everything, right? I know it's just a movie, but I believe most movies, even science fiction and fantasy movies and Terminator movies and everything, I believe it's not just fantasy, I believe it's memories. Bloodline memories of times on Earth. And they are told as through writing or films or something, right? That's just my personal belief, but that's again like anything, any world that has been created, like the Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings universe. I believe this is a memory of a time on Earth. The talk about Atlantean and Lemurian times, I believe, still is a memory stored in our bloodline somehow. The Terminator films, the same thing. I believe it's a memory about a time on Earth that is either not here yet, is coming, or it has been here yet. It has been here, playing out. But that's just my personal belief, right? Okay, so this is what I have, Aries. I hope this helps somehow. Yeah. I think that it's interesting to see where this goes, Aries. But there's definitely a possibility of shifting something around, something very painful, into something that can feel different. Not in the beginning, maybe. It will take some time to shift from that low vibrational energy into something like this and this and this. It may take a while, but it's possible to do so. But again, I said I got divine timing from this card. It takes a while to, like to turn a container ship around. It takes a while, right? And it takes trust and patience and devotion and loyalty, sticking with the plan, trusting it. Sitting in the chariot and let someone else guide you. Yeah, that is what I have. I hope this helps somehow, Aries. Take care of yourself out there. Love and light to you. Bye bye.